Hello, welcome to another episode of Church Technology. And this week, I'm going to kind of extend where we left off with the digital soundboard. And I had actually quite a few emails and conversations back and forth with people asking all kinds of interesting questions that I actually didn't cover in great detail. So I'm going to cover a little bit right now, but then I'm going to show you some videos. So a lot of the questions were around setup and how do you on digital boards do you use scenes for all these different things, and I can answer a couple of those questions, and I'm going to show you a setup for a concert. So we do a concert once every couple of months, and in this particular one we did 17 songs, so it's like an hour and a half long concert. But I actually recorded the setup process, the practice, and then actually the real concert as well. So I have a couple videos. One of them is like 8 minutes, and the other one's like 10 minutes, and then the last one is like 18 minutes, but it's all fast forward. So it's 600 times the speed of what actually happened, because we actually started at 1 o'clock for a concert. I started at 7 o'clock and doing the setup and everything. So, and I didn't record everything, but I recorded the general process and me going through. So I'm going to explain as this video goes on. So to answer a couple of the questions that I've gotten, do we use scenes? Yes, we use scenes on the digital boards. We typically only use it on one of the two boards that we have, and it depends on who's singing. So what we do differently is if a different lead singer is coming up for a song, we will change people's pans. We give different effects depending if they're leading or not leading, and we will save those. So we typically have a scene for each lead singer. In the case of the concert, we actually had a scene for every song. And the reason for that is we had a total of 7 different singers, and one lead, typically 3 backup, and then 3 to 4 backup, and the other ones weren't singing, but they were still on stage. So we were changing panning, effects, and everything for every single song, because there are different numbers of people doing different things and moving around. And rather than try to do that live, it was just easier to do it as a scene. And that's what you'll see in the first video, is me going through recording the scenes, and you'll see my wife there also telling me, because she's our vocal director, and she goes through and tells me who's singing, who should be panned, who's singing what parts, so we determine who gets panned where, and all that based on what parts they're singing. And then also in the first video, you'll see another lady sitting behind me working on the computer, and she is actually running the panels, which you won't really see until the second video, because the first video is just a wide angle of us setting up everything. You'll notice that we have 2 boards there. We run 2 X32 boards. The left board's all band. 30 of the 32 channels are used, and we occasionally do use all 32 of them, but it's pretty rare. But we typically use 30. And the first layer is drums, and I typically sit on the second layer, which is everything but the drums, and to get the drums set up, and I put them into a DCA, and then I adjust the DCA as needed. Occasionally you see me jump over there and make changes and stuff like that. So and then the right board is all the microphones, wireless microphones, plus the CD player, the DVD player, which we didn't use for this. It's typically used for funerals and things like that. And then we also have audio from ProPresenter, which we didn't really use for this. We used ProPresenter a lot, but we didn't use any audio from ProPresenter for this one. And the second layer is the first 8 channels are the linkage between the 2 boards. It's how we get everything linked between the 2 boards. And the last 8 channels are ambience that we record, the ambience that go to the in-ears of the people on stage, and also records to CD, is a track on the CD. Plus there's talk back to the stage, and talk back to ProPresenter people. All these different other things are on the layer. I hardly ever go to that layer, so in this process. So anyways, we're going to watch this first video, and I'll come back and I'll explain a few more things as well. Okay, so a couple other things that I noticed in that video that I want to make sure that I mention is you see a couple of monitors there, and you see one of them that I was touching. It is a touchscreen monitor, and it's basically the X32 Edit program. It just allows me to bring up and watch all the meters at once, no matter what I have on the console itself. And we used to have two of those up there to do the exact same thing, and on both sides. And it just was a way of extra viewing. So if I'm somewhere else in the console on the screen, I still get to see both layers of meters. And if somebody's clipping or being overcompressed, it's all on that one screen. You see me touching it. It is a touch screen, and we do use it as a touch screen. We used to use it a lot to do playback of audio, but we no longer do that. In fact, you'll see in the next video or two videos down that I'm actually using my iPad to play music and stuff for background music. So anyways, the other monitor is our Pro Presenter. So the lady that's sitting next to me in this past video is controlling the panels, which you'll see in the next video. You didn't see them in this video, but you'll see them in the next video. Panels above the stage, she's controlling the moving images on those. And then we have two iMag screens on the right, but for the concert we didn't use iMag. We used just moving images and words instead of iMag. And the person who controls that is back in a back room with the video switcher and the video team in a whole different room back behind stage. So we can see what she's doing. We have her feed up in the audio booth, and we can see where she's going. Helps me as an audio person know that they're coming up on the end of the song, things like that. And also helps the lighting operator know what verse or chorus they're in, things like that. So it's just something we have feedback for. That's that little thing you see them scrolling, and that's what that is all the words of the songs and anything else. So that's the other screen you see there. And then there's normally a third screen, which is, again, it's not there right now. It's just goes for the other board. And then the person running the panels is not always there. And then the person next to her, who wasn't there for this concert, is our director, our tech director. And we didn't have one for the concert. We generally don't. We're very loose on the concerts. Are more of a fun thing, and we don't have somebody calling shots or anything like that for the director's position. And then the lighting operator is the last person there, and he was in towards the end of this video. You'll see him a lot more in the next videos as well. So, and then in the back, our video people, we have a video switcher and a video director, and then the Pro Presenter person that runs in the back. So that's why we have those screens out front, so we can see. Also, it's kind of hard to tell in this video, but there's other screens there, 5-inch, 7-inch screens, whatever, that we can see different camera shots and previews and stuff like that, so that the director calling the whole thing can see what's going on in the video world as well. So that was that one. So the next one's going to be more of a run through. Like, this is the band practicing. You'll see us messing with lights, making some changes and things like that. You get to see the panels for the first time that I was talking about, and I actually did a split screen, so you can see what I'm doing and you can see what's going on stage. And it's a little dark when the lights start getting into where they belong, so it's a little bit harder to see what's going on back in our area, but you get a pretty good idea. And again, it's a 600 times the speed, so there's no audio with these because it would just be Mickey Mouse speed type sound. So let's watch the second video and we'll come back and then we'll finish up. All right, so that was just part of the practice. We actually started at 1 p.m. When you first saw me setting up things through the scenes, you saw me about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We were going through this practice area that I recorded. It was probably 3 or 4 in the afternoon, something like that. And what you see me doing is going through each scene as they're practicing the song, and I'm making changes to it because I just did a real high level scene creation. I knew who was singing, who should be panned, but then I made other adjustments on who's, to get the volumes close and things like that as well. And then also just verify everything was okay. And then I saved a scene again to make sure that it was good for the actual program. Typically we do a practice, a run through, and then the real program every Sunday morning. And this being 17 songs and so many songs, we typically Sunday's a 4 or 5 song. Because of being 17 and so many people, we never did a run through because it would take us an hour and a half to do the run through. We just did practice and that was it. And like I said, this is not a very structured event, so it's more of a fun thing for the band and for the people coming and for everybody. So we don't structure it. So the next video is actually a little longer. It's 18 minutes. It's the entire concert. And if you don't want to watch it, I understand, because there is no audio. But you can kind of see what happens in the real thing if you really want to watch it. But because I don't expect you to stay the whole way to the end, I'm actually going to do some cleanup and finalize some things right now, and then we'll let you go. And if you want to watch it, you can watch it. And if not, that's perfectly fine as well. So a few things. The Church Technology Show is recorded every Monday night at 7 p.m. And if you go to facebook.com/TechZenTV and you like the page there, that is our fan page for the whole entire TechZen TV network. And we'd love for you to go out there and like it. You can get updates on new shows, changes in shows, all kinds of stuff out there by following us on Facebook. And if you want to watch other shows and you're big on YouTube and you want to subscribe to us on YouTube, it's youtube.com/TechZenTV, and you can see all of our shows. Things are separated out there by playlists, so if you have a particular show you're interested in, you can just follow that one show on YouTube. Of course, all of our show notes and all of our other shows and all that is all at tech-zen.tv. Definitely go out and check it out, and check out some of our other shows. We definitely would like that. Spread the word around about all of our shows. If you know somebody be interested in church technology, let them know. And we would like you to guide us where you want us to go. What kind of questions do you have? What do you want us to talk about? We'd love to get involved with you directly and personally. You can come and watch us live, like I said, at 7 p.m. We have a chat room you can come log into and interact with us. You can send us email at any time. We love the feedback from email. In fact, I got a lot of email from the digital board type questions, and that's where some of this came from tonight, and I decided to record the concert setup. So, all right, that's pretty much it for this week. Like I said, I'm going to play the actual concert itself in 600 times speed, so very fast, right after this. But if you don't want to hang out, then you don't feel like you have to. But if you're curious what it's kind of like, you can watch a minute or two of it and get a pretty good idea of what we did during the concert. All right, we'll see you all next week. For show notes for this show, contacts, and more, go to the texn.tv website where you can get show notes for all of our shows. We love to hear from our viewers and listeners. We have an email, a Twitter, and a phone number where you can contact us for each show. For details, visit the texn.tv website and get the show details. You can also make a video and upload it somewhere like YouTube or Vimeo, and then just send us a link. You never know, you may see your video in a future show. You can get all of our shows delivered automatically to your favorite device by going to your favorite podcast website like iTunes and subscribing. Each of our shows also has a YouTube channel you can subscribe to get regular updates. Our shows are also available on most internet radio networks like Stitcher and TuneIn Radio. You can also watch and listen to our shows on Xbox, TiVo, and Roku. You can even find us on your Zune. For show notes for this show, contacts, and more, go to the techzen.tv website where you can get show notes for all of our shows. We love to hear from our viewers and listeners. We have an email, a Twitter, and a phone number where you can contact us for each show. For details, visit the techzen.tv website and get the show details. You can also make a video and upload it somewhere like YouTube or Vimeo and then just send us a link. You never know, you may see your video in a future show. You can get all of our shows delivered automatically to your favorite device by going to your favorite podcast website like iTunes and subscribing. Each of our shows also has a YouTube channel you can subscribe to get regular updates. Our shows are also available on most internet radio networks like Stitcher and TuneIn Radio. You can also watch and listen to our shows on Xbox, TiVo, and Roku. You can even find us on your Zune.